Can I start the podcast by kissing the mic because we have a new covers?
Yes, you can. That's disgusting.
POV is me kissing you because you came back to watch the second episode. Please don't include that. I would appreciate it.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the As of Yet Unnamed podcast. I actually have a good idea for a podcast name. Do you want to hear it?
I'm trying to anticipate what joke you're making, so sure, go for it.
I'm thinking the Suicide Squad, because what are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
I feel like you could have introduced that joke a lot better. I think you could have been like, what are we? What? Some sort of Suicide Squad? You want to know why we're making suicide jokes? Suicide jokes! Suicide Squad jokes today? Why is that?
Because we just finished watching the movie The Suicide Squad. Not to be confused with Suicide Squad.
Don't you dare forget the.
DC will never let you forget the.
If you're like, oh, I just saw Suicide Squad today, don't you dare forget the. Oh my god.
The.
Anyway.
It was a very good movie.
Yes, literally when we finished it, I was like, I want a podcast. The last podcast we made, I feel like it was hard to get into. I just did not know what to say, and the only way I could talk about stuff is just going nuts.
Yeah.
But when we finished that, rather, ooh, that's what I felt. That's how I felt, oof, in a good way. And we'll go on and explain it.
So, you all know I think it was 2017 movie Suicide Squad. It was interesting to say the least.
It was something. If you like the Joker posing near knives, looking epic. What else happened?
There was a lot of licensed music.
Racist. What was he? Oh my god.
Crocodile Man.
Racist crocodile? I won't elaborate.
King Croc is racist.
King Croc is right. King
Croc. Don't say cock.
Am I allowed to swear?
Not cock.
Is a slur a swear?
Yes, it is a swear.
If you like King Croc, Joker, Bad
Killer
Harley
Croc.
Quinn, King him, fucking who
Captain
else?
Boomerang.
Katana. This is Katana. This is Katana.
This is Katana. She traps the swords of the people she kills. She traps the souls of the people she kills in her sword.
I like your headcanon that he just cannot talk straight. This is Katana. She.
That's what the Rick Flag guy sounds like.
Katana.
So, without going into spoilers, I think this new Suicide Squad is a whole lot more suicide-y and a whole lot more squad-y because this movie has a ton of violence and it is awesome.
It is epic. We're gonna have to talk about spoilers because it's so you can't get into it without spoiling it. Or when we talk about our favorite moments, I think we're gonna have to. It's just so fun. If you've ever watched, what is that movie I talked about? Kick-Ass?
Yeah.
You'll like it. A little bit of
Deadpool in there.
A little bit of Deadpool moment. A little bit of...
It reminded me of Deadpool 2 when he puts together the superhero team. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And only him and Domino survive.
A little bit of Deadpool. A little bit of... What did you keep on comparing it to?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
A little.
It's an R-rated Guardians of the Galaxy film.
All right. Why don't you actually have a good idea? Give me a little synopsis of this one.
So, Harley Quinn and Rick Flag, who's this generic military dude, they're part of this operation that goes horribly wrong, and they basically get involved in the politics of this fake South American country that's an allegory for everything the U.S. has ever done in South America. Mm-hmm. So the B team of the Suicide Squad has to go and rescue them, and then they have to fight this giant starfish monster.
They don't know they're going to fight the starfish monster. They don't really know.
From the trailers.
Well, yeah, but I didn't really pay much attention. You think at first, oh man, they're just going to get some random old guy with medicine bottles in his head. I don't know. But then you see the starfish. That's the real villain.
Honestly, from the marketing, I thought he was going to be like a member of the team from the beginning.
Who?
The trailer
the
is
medicine
like
man.
very deceptive with the pacing in this movie.
No,
like,
you get in, you don't know what you're expecting. I believe, like, I feel like the first movie, it's full of those stupid intros where it's like, this is Harley Quinn.
They
This
do
is
not do that at all.
Like, it's very stereotypical, boring ass storytelling where it's like, oh, yeah, these are the people you're gonna hang out with.
They introduce one character before they go on their first mission, and that's Michael Rooker Savant. And at the end of the sequence, the beginning sequence, spoiler, his head blows up, and the blood in the water, because he, like, deserted, spells out the Suicide Squad.
Okay, basically, spoilers for the beginning, I guess. Yeah, everyone that you see in the very beginning, you're like, oh man, this is going to be the crew, whatever. We're being introduced to a couple
The
characters.
detachable kid. He
Yeah.
can move his arms off, and he can slap dudes around.
You're into the movie. They introduce a bunch of these random people. What the hell is the black lady's name? I'm sorry. I'm going to say that I don't like her. I'm going to call her the black lady.
Amanda Walker, I think
Walker.
it is.
I don't remember. The black lady's like, I got some great superheroes. He, her.
I got some crazy supervillains. They can do some
crazy
crazy shit.
supervillains. This is a great idea. No one has ever told me that this is a bad idea. And then
You
they
destabilize the country. That is a plus for the CIA. That's
then-
an actual line in the movie.
and then they all die, and then you're introduced to the real squad.
The real squad.
The real squad. Go on. Tell the cast.
The real squad of King Shark,
Woo!
Polka Dot Man.
Who is it? John Cena.
He's Peacekeeper.
John Cena. We'll just call him. And Ratwoman. Is that everyone?
Ratcatcher 2. Preceded by Ratcatcher 1,
That's
who is
everybody, right?
Idris Elba's Bloodsport.
Yeah, Bloodsport is just Bloodshot. Okay? He's just Batman. He's got a lot of gadgets. There's Killer Croc. No. Killer Shark. He's
King Shark.
he is epic. He's a cool shark man.
We
He's
mixed up
friendly.
the names. We said he was King Croc.
King. Yeah.
I'm going to have to bleep that out. You
King-
can't say that.
We'll replace it with like a cool anime noise or something.
I will.
Then Rat Woman that attracts the rats. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn, the legend, actually funny in this. Oh my god.
Actually, like, really, like, insane.
Halfway through the movie, you're like, they actually got me to like her. And I'm like, yeah.
Because she is insane in this movie. Like, not like insane and like, whoa, she's so crazy. Like, she is like an actual like psychopath. I told her halfway through, if you guys know like TF2, like Meet the Pyro, like she has pyro vision on and she's like killing dudes and there are like animated characters coming out. It's awesome. She's an actually insane person.
Basically, if you enjoy or if you've seen rather like the Harley Quinn cartoon or Birds of Prey, it's like those characters, like those interpretations combined. So now, wow, she's like actually an interesting character. All of them are they're actually intriguing.
They
They're
have
actually
good
really
character
fun.
drama. There's one there's a twist villain, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
throughout the end. It's pretty predictable that this character is going to end up like betraying the squad.
But it's actually interesting.
But it's
like,
really interesting in the scene, and there's this incredible fight scene, and there's a specific shot we both pointed out that's in the reflection of a important object in the film. I won't spoil exactly what it is, but we were just like, wow, this feels like an actual film, not just a superhero movie.
No, it's just point blank. It's so fun. And I couldn't compare that scene or any of this conflict to anything in the original.
Yeah.
Like,
It is leagues different.
The original conflict is what? They got to get what is the villain?
They got to kill the Enchantress and her brother.
Yeah, that's it. There's no conflict. There's no like, what do I do? Like, there's no like internal interesting dialogue between the characters. But in this one, it's like actually like, wow, a movie.
Everybody has a reason to be there, and everybody who doesn't have a reason to be there is immediately killed.
Yeah.
Like the weasel. Spoiler alert, the weasel jumps
Okay,
out of the plane
spoiler-
and then he drowns immediately because he can't swim.
Should we just tell everyone that dies? The weasel, I was so happy. I was not going to be able to watch this movie if the goddamn weasel lived and died.
Savant, which we already covered. Savant's Michael Rooker. He was the dude who killed the bird with the ball.
Yeah. A lot of bird death. Weird.
Yeah. That's like a motif in this movie. That birds
TW
get
bird
killed.
death, I guess.
bird lovers, beware. You should not watch this
Ariana
film.
Grande's ex-boyfriend.
Pete Davidson.
I hate Pete Davidson. I'm so sorry. Dead. Captain Boomerang. Fuck you. I was so mad.
That was the moment I was engrossed in this movie.
I love Captain Boomerang.
That was just a big fuck you to the original film, was killing Captain Boomerang.
But he was the only one I was excited for, other than Katana, which could have been interesting. I won't go into that.
I'm glad they kind of cut Katana. I think she would have been cool in this movie, but...
She would have been cool. She's just a cool character. It's like they threw an interesting character into a bad movie, and you're like, oh.
Well, they threw her in at the end.
Yeah, I know, but they could have. I won't go on, but they could have branched out with her. She's interesting.
I like how equal they were with all the character introductions and backstories. Basically, what they kind of do throughout several points in the film is that there's a couple like non-linear time structure moments. Like you see the first operation go awfully, and then you jump back like a couple weeks, and then they give you information on the B team, which becomes the major players in the film. Mm-hmm. I like how they do that, and then there's that one scene in the ending where they like jump back before a fight scene begins.
Right. They do a lot of like jumping back and forth, but it isn't jarring. It's like it adds a lot more context. If it wasn't there, you'd be like, what?
And it makes the scenes more tense. It keeps the action moving, and I like how they showed everyone dying first, and then they go back and start exposition dumping everyone.
Yeah. No, it's such a blast. A lot of the shots are so unique, and you can tell that they really actually tried.
I love those real fast-paced shots in the beginning and how frantically the camera moves.
Yeah, I think the best thing I can compare it to is like actually comparing the actual good shots to the original Suicide Squad, where the Joker with the knives, where they're just like, this will be epic. Does it make sense? No. But in this,
you mean like in contrast, like this actually works with the film?
Yeah, in contrast to this new one where it makes sense. There definitely are scenes where it's like they shot this because it'd be aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
but
and the soundtrack.
There's
a lot of good needle drops in this one.
Okay, especially he's just saying that
one of my favorite songs off my favorite albums.
I'm drinking
Point
some water.
of No Return by Kansas. When I heard Point of No Return come on, I started violently shaking Whitley, going, ah!
You shook the table. Yeah. It was
awesome.
I'm not putting you down. The rest
Still no dirty work, though. That was in the trailer.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. The only thing I didn't really like... Okay, it was amazing. Amazing? I don't really know.
It was amazing.
It was super fun. If you like fun superhero movies, if you like Deadpool, Kick-Ass, anything like genuinely interesting and fun, you'll love it. Plus superheroes, we love that. But
go see this movie in theaters, and if you want to save some money, watch it on HBO Max.
And then you can scream about it.
Yeah,
and laugh
actually,
at the scenes.
This movie might be better on HBO Max than in theaters.
Unless you get
some friends together. Get a couple friends together, just yourself if you're really lonely and a loser, or one other person to watch it with, and you will have a good time. This movie's a good time.
No, there's really not much bad to say except
a couple lines of dialogue.
Oh my God,
do
there's
not
some
hit at all.
Funny dialogue. Can you say the one that John Cena says?
Doesn't he say something like, I just killed some dude. That was dope as fuck, man.
That was dope as fuck, man. Like, I don't know. That was really weird.
But that was a really cool scene, though, where Peacemaker and what's his name? I forgot it already.
Bloodshot?
No.
Blackshot?
Bloodsport.
Black sport?
It's Bloodsport.
I can say that. But there's really not that much bad to say. The only things I noticed are, I'm looking back now, that I didn't really love. Soundtrack kind of like went down as it goes, you know?
I disagree.
Right? No, but like there's nothing that was like, other than that Kansas moment, which really brought it up in the very beginning. I was kind of like, It's not bad. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just like, oh, maybe.
It's a little bit more obscure music than the first movie.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that bugged me. Well, I guess it didn't particularly bug me, is how much like popular licensed music they use. They use Black Skinhead, House of the Rising Sun. What else did they use?
I can't even remember. What, in the original?
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Paranoid by Black Sabbath, I'm pretty sure.
I forgot who sings that. You don't own me. Yeah. Oh, no, I got to...
Like, every single movie song ever is in that movie.
Cool. But
Yeah, amazing movie, really incredible visuals.
Honestly,
It's a fun superhero movie.
Totally.
And I actually, like, it's the first one that hasn't been, like, really depressing in a long
honestly,
time.
no, it's just it gives you hope in superhero movies.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing? Can I
Of
say
course you
one
can.
last thing before I wrap it up and I could talk about this movie for hours? Fucking stupid Walker woman. I don't like her.
She is
You
a
can
good
cut this
villain.
out. You can
She's
cut
a
this
much
out.
better. No, this is important. She is a much better villain than in the first Suicide
She's
Squad.
fucking crazy. Like, you can tell, like, she's a lot more violent and the stakes are a lot more high. But the fact that the stakes are high, okay, if you don't remember, Walker is the black lady. I'm not trying to be racist or anything.
She's like the team leader.
Yeah, she's the team leader that's like, she's the one that sets up all the superheroes. If you remember in the first one where it's like, she says the thing about Harley and Joker. Like,
Yeah.
no one disrespects the queen. Yeah, like she says that. Like, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, in this movie, she's the one that organizes the Suicide Squad. She does basically the same role. Basically, like, you know, make sure they're doing the right thing. And if you do anything bad, I'll kill you. But the whole thing that keeps on bothering me is that, like, she has a little team of people. Yeah. I don't understand why they keep working for her. Are the benefits good? Do they get good dentistry?
She's talking about not the Suicide Squad.
No, I'm talking
the
about
people in the office who don't have bombs
throughout
in their
the whole
neck.
movie. Like,
everyone's like,
there's the office workers that work with Walker, and they basically just like follow her every need. But one, I don't know why they still work for her, and two, I don't know why like the U.S. government continues to let Walker like do her job. I mean, I guess in the original it worked.
Yeah, I mean, part of the mission in the original was that it was a rescue mission for her.
Yeah, I just don't like what made them believe in her so much. And if we're saying, because are we believing that the original isn't canon?
The original is canon.
The original is canon. Okay, so yeah, but it's just weird, and I'm not a fan. Spoiler alert: in the end, bad stuff goes down. We realize that she's a bad person. Whoa, she's a bad person? Wow. She gets hit by a pipe.
It was a golf club.
Yeah, I guess she gets hit by a golf club. I thought that'd be the end of her, but no, like, everyone just, like, continues to, like, serve her. That's it. This probably will get cut out, because it's not cohesive enough for a reason to not, like, for it to be a flaw. But I just don't like her, okay? Mm-hmm. I have to get it out.
That'll probably stay in, actually.
It's okay. It can. It doesn't have to.
Now, in the completely opposite direction of this superhero blockbuster film, let's talk about an indie movie that the entire general audience seems to hate.
What color night? Yellow night? The purple
red
night? I don't know.
The purple guy.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, I could talk about that for hours. Let me not do that today. It's The Green Knight. Have you heard of this one?
Have you heard of it? It's pretty indie.
Have you heard of it? You probably
underground.
haven't. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before. Wait, hold on. Set the scene. Okay. You better do this for me. Tame Impala is playing. You're in my bedroom. You're my dirty basement.
You're in my dirty basement. I have my currents bedspread out.
Yeah.
And I'm about to tuck you into bed as I
What?
flip on the TV.
About to tuck you into bed?
We're about to tuck ourselves into bed and we're about to watch a movie.
What I was seeing it more as like we're on a weird date. Like you're the girl or guy, whatever, or non-binary, whatever. You're the person.
You're the partner.
Yeah, you're the partner. I invited you over. I turn on Tame Impala and I go to turn on my television. I'm like, you ever heard of A24? Probably never heard of it.
They're an indie film production company. They only make
Indie
movies.
films. Indie.
The highest quality of indie.
Tame Impala.
Tame Impala is not real indie.
Arctic Monkeys.
They're signed to a major label.
I can't think of other indie things. Oh, I hit Dr. White. Okay, anyway, let's get right into talking about The Green Knight.
That was a long setup.
It really was. I could have set that up a lot better. You know, you'll set the scene, you'll edit it. I'll draw it if you really want me to.
Okay.
Okay, let's get right into talking about The Green Knight. Why don't you do the same thing and give us a little summary. Give us what's happening there.
I might mispronounce a couple names because they're all British. But our film centers around our protagonist, Sir Gawain of Arthurian legends, portrayed by
Dev Patel. I think that's the way I pronounce it.
Yeah.
I will be doing a lot of moaning in this one. We both will.
Oh.
Anyway, please carry
That was
on.
uncomfortable.
It's okay. It brings the viewers, right, viewers? Comment down below how you want to see
Can
more.
we just both moan at the same time, and then that'll be the
Comment
cut?
down below. Okay, ready?
That was good.
That was a moan, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, viewers. Okay, please tell me more about the Green Knight.
So he is the nephew of King Arthur in both the story and the film. And on Christmas Eve, I think it's kind of implied that his mother's like being like sort of like a fate type thing. And she summons this creature called the Green Knight. And the Green Knight rides into King Arthur's court and he says, I want to play a game with your bravest knight. So what he does is he says, one of your bravest knights has to inflict a wound onto me. And in 1 year's time, they'll travel out to meet me, and I'll give them the same wound. So Gawain, being the genius he is, goes up, takes Excalibur, and he lobs off the Green Knight's head. So the Green Knight picks up his head. What's the guy's name? What's the Halloween creature?
The Halloween creature?
You know, the one that has the pumpkin head.
Oh my God! What is
Headless
it? Headless
Horseman.
Horseman. Yeah.
Headless Horseman style. He picks up his head and he rides off into the night cackling. So basically what this film is, it's 1 year later and it's the lead up till Christmas and it's Gawain's journey towards the Green Chapel where the Green Knight lives. And it's kind of like a meditation on honor, what it really means to be an honorable and truthful person. And he always ends up in these interesting situations. It's a very hypnotic film. You know what I mean?
Basically, yeah. Basically, what you're seeing in this movie is Gawain going in his, not adventure, what is the word I'm looking for? On his
Quest.
journey. Yeah, quest to go to this green chapel to meet the man. I know it's not the man. What's his name?
The Green Knight.
Yeah, I promise I watched these movies.
She was awake the entire time.
I was awake.
I kept her.
I was invested.
Like I said, this movie's very hypnotic and almost psychedelic in some scenes, but it's kind of hard to explain the plot because stuff just kind of happens.
It definitely is weird. I'm trying to think of a way to explain it. I would just say it's a journey. We're watching him go on his quest, and he meets people along the way that are either good or bad, and they may be trying to get on his good side to do something bad to him. Maybe got anything on his bad side, and then you just watch that and see. It's a story of like fate and honor, a lot of themes. Definitely a lot of themes.
Yeah.
Don't go into this movie thinking that it's going to be a medieval quest, like with action.
There's no action at all in this movie. Not a single action scene.
Very little, but don't take that as a negative.
Little? There was none.
Well,
Nothing.
they swung a sword. I can swing my sword.
Once in the beginning of the movie, and then once at the end.
Very, very, very little. But do not take that as a negative. It's an experience, but it's super fun.
Beautiful cinematography,
Yes.
Incredible soundtrack, just a really beautiful film, I think.
Yeah, I guess I compare it to like sort of like a grim fairy tale.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can kind of say, because it's not what you expect it to be. It's not like, oh man, night fight and
It subverts your expectations.
yes, it exactly does. But I think it's super interesting. It just takes you on a journey.
Yeah.
And you meet a lot of interesting characters.
You see, I like the characters, and this is my own sort of theory, but I feel like every single character he meets when he goes on his quest is something kind of fake. Like, can we talk about like spoilers a little bit?
I think
Let's do it.
Can. I think
so
you might have to add some context to make it make sense.
Throughout his quest, he starts beginning to encounter certain people, and there's this one scene very early on where he's robbed by this kid. It's the kid who's in Dunkirk.
Yeah, that's a good example to bring up.
And basically, it strips him of his magic wristband, his magic waistband, and the magic waistband. It always stays on.
Oh yeah, it always stays on.
He strips him of the Green Knight's axe and his magic protection waistband.
All of his weapons, everything that he had, the whole time prepared him for him.
The two most important things for his quest.
Yeah, everything is stripped away from him, especially those two important things.
So then he has to go on trials, which test his judgment and his honesty to regain those items. And I feel like to a certain extent, that kid is like kind of fake or like an extension of the Green Knight himself. I know that sounds a little bit stupid, but I feel like it fits thematically within the movie to think that his mom, the fates, they do like a ritual at the beginning. I think they had all the stars aligned for this, you know?
Yeah, well, for context, the mom, I believe, and isn't that in the original story, she's a witch, like,
Yeah.
she's an actual witch.
She's a witch in this story, too.
Yeah, I meant in, like, King Arthur, if you know, like, King Arthur kind of lore.
There's magic.
Yeah,
There's witches
King
and wizards.
Gawain's, King Gawain? Sir
He
Gawain's.
is King Gawain at the
Yeah,
end.
in the end. Yeah, but Sir Gawain's mother is a witch, so for all of these things to happen, for the Green Knight to come and give Sir Gawain a chance to become a knight and to become a king, perhaps, this is all fate, which kind of goes into all these themes. It's definitely like, it's weird jumping from Suicide Squad, where I can just tell you all about it, to the Green Knight, because
Which is a very cryptic film.
No, I don't want to tell you all of it because I want you to see it.
Even if I did tell you every single scene in excruciating detail,
it's going to be weird.
It's something you have to see to experience.
No, it's not going to make any sense. If we said, this guy goes on his horse, he meets a thief, they take his stuff, he goes to a house, like, it's not going to
meets a ghost.
Woo, ghost. Sorry, I'm just talking about ghost. It's not going to make any sense. It still is a little not making sense a little bit in the movie, but you see it, you understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Just watch the movie.
It's a movie that has to be experienced. Although I do have to warn you, if you're not incredibly patient with like artistic like films, or you're expecting an action film, just don't go to see this movie.
It is a little bit indie.
It is very pretentious. It is a very, very pretentious film. You can't pretend it isn't.
Pretentious.
It is incredibly pretentious.
No, it's not. It's just artistic. It's like saying that poetry is pretentious, because
to a certain extent, yes, poetry is pretentious.
Anyway, we're not talking about this. We're talking about this movie. Don't go in expecting
if you don't like A24 films,
basically,
if you don't like really slow movies, you're going to hate this. But I encourage you, if you think that this might be your thing, to have an open mind. I think this could be really what the fantasy genre needs. I was watching Game of Thrones recently with my dad. He's seen the entire series. I haven't. And I was sort of saying, like, well, the early 2000s had the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then the 2010s had the Game of Thrones series. What's going to be the 2020s big fantasy hit? And I feel like we're going to start seeing more postmodern fantasy in the future, more dissections of the fantasy genre.
Well, right after that amazing sentence, let's talk about how hot everyone in this movie is.
Yeah, we're there now.
Okay. Oh my God, excuse me. Listen, everyone in this movie is hot. And I'm not the kind of person that to swoon, you know?
Yeah.
But Dave Patel. Oh my God, I can't even think of anyone else. We meet a couple characters. That thief that he was talking about, surprisingly attractive. We meet a woman. Can I say it? Can I say the word?
Yeah.
A whore, perhaps. I'm not trying to be rude. She is a whore. Like,
that is literally her role in the film.
Like, she is the whore. Attractive. There's a man. Don't say anything about him because it's going to be spoilers. Something happens. Attractive. Literally everyone casted in this film, beautiful. Absolutely
she even
gorgeous.
said King Arthur was incredibly attractive after we watched the film.
I didn't say incredibly. I'm looking away. I'm covering my eyes.
That's a lie. She said King Arthur is the second hottest man in this movie.
I didn't say second. Did I say second?
Did.
No, I think I said. I think I didn't say that.
You definitely did. Actually, you said he was the third after the thief character, the kid from
There's
Dunkirk.
not a lot of men in this movie, all right?
There aren't a lot of people, period, in this movie.
No, if you're not counting, obviously, like, extras, like, there aren't at all.
This film was incredibly pretty, and I did love it, but I do have to complain that a couple of the scenes were kind of, like, dark, where it was hard to make stuff out. I know that's a stylistic choice, but it was a little bit weird, especially during the Knights of the Round Table scenes, how dark everything was. It could have been a little bit brighter, but there is this beautiful moment where the darkness in the scene is broken up by Gawain holding Excalibur, which is very overdramatic, but it works within the scene.
There are definitely a lot of scenes like that. A lot of
I love that establishing shot of the film. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. There's a lot of really good scenes. Literally, not a lot of bad things to say about the looks of this, except, okay, I'll say it. This isn't spoilers because it's in the trailers. There is a CGI fox. He don't look too great, but
he does look pretty bad.
But I mean, whatever. Like,
I
that's
saw
the only
people
thing.
complaining about the giants in the film too. That's also in the trailer.
That
But
is
those
true.
don't look that bad, in my opinion.
They are
look
giants.
fine.
Like, that's Attack on Titan moment. But
This film is nothing like Attack on Titan.
this film
I am
is Attack on
confident
Titan.
in making that assertion.
I haven't read the manga accurately yet, and it's ending soon. But let me not go into the conversation.
Isn't the
about
manga already in though?
I don't know. I think it's ending.
Because I thought the main dude that everybody likes died.
I don't really know. My best friend in the whole world really likes it, and I still don't know what's happening. But I won't go on to that because I will talk about that for hours. It was so good. Can I read the letterbox?
Of course. Now we're in Whitley's letterbox segment of the podcast.
Okay, context. Basically, to wrap it all up, let me wrap it all up before I get into the goofs. It was really great. We left the theater feeling really good. Like, it was just a super interesting experience. You take in a lot, and you totally think about it. You think about it too. You leave the theater thinking about it. Not in the sense of, that movie was so fun, like Suicide Squad moment. That was a fun movie. That made me feel good. That was fun. I had fun. This is like, I think about the themes.
This movie made me feel good too, though. I mean, it was a little bit more depressing than Suicide Squad. I hate to admit
sad.
it. But I did feel good when I finished this movie. This is one of the rare A24 films that has a happy ending.
Yeah, I won't go into that.
Arguably happy ending.
Yeah. But I mean, not in the sense of that you feel sad. Like, it sticks in your head, is what I'm saying.
Very thought-provoking.
In summary, great movie. Really good. Consider watching it. If you like taking a risk, maybe you'll enjoy it, maybe you won't, whatever. Okay.
Before we close out, if you want to see what we're watching on Letterboxd, I am at Alex Gus on Letterboxd, and Whitley is...
I am at, I'm going to spell it, Cantido, Cantido. All right, see what I'm watching. What did I watch most recently?
See what we're watching. Stalk us.
Jam.
Follow us.
Space Jam. Letterboxd? Labyrinth.
You watched Labyrinth?
Yeah, I did. It's so good. When I got your HBO Max. Okay, can I read it now?
I think we're going to end the episode.
Can I read it now? Can I read it now?
We'll come back in the third episode for you to read it.
No. Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Thank you so much for chatting it up with us about 2 movies that we saw.
And we really liked.
Yeah, we really like you. Ready? Kiss the mic to wrap it up. Ready? 1, 2, 3.